Hello, my name is Mike Ward and I'm the Global Director of Content for Informa Pharma Intelligence's Insights portfolio. That includes Script, Pink Sheet and In Vivo. We're here in Stockholm at the Bio Europe Spring meeting. It's the 10th time that Bio Europe Spring has taken place. This is the first time they've been here in Scandinavia. Now I'm joined by Mark Timney, who's the President and CEO of Purdue Pharma LP. Okay, so thanks for coming along and
thanks for the invitation, Mike.
So Purdue Pharma has a reputation for being a company that is very, very much focused on pain. But you know, sort of the conversations that I've had with colleagues of yours, there's a shift in emphasis, which I think started a couple of years ago when you sort of turned up the company. So could you sort of explain to us, what the motivation was behind that shift and how we're progressing?
Great. So it's absolutely right. We've been on this journey for about 2 years, Mike. The key is when I was brought in, I was asked to diversify the company. We are much even narrower than just pain. We're the leaders in opioids and abuse deterrent opioids at that. I don't know if you know, but in the US, 3 out of the 5 approved abuse deterrent opioids are from Purdue. So we looked at our portfolio, we've looked at our pipeline and said, okay, in order to get diversification, we've really got to flip our business model. So we flipped it from being a discovery-led model to a business development-led model, which is why we're here today.
Right.
And so now we're focused really in 3 areas. So we're going to broaden the pain landscape and look beyond just opioids because there's so much unmet need out there. Then we're looking secondly at CNS. And when I say CNS, I'm talking movement disorders, sleep, epilepsy, really very specific specialty areas. And then thirdly, we're going to be agnostic to therapeutic area, and we're going to look to build in a whole new space, which will be an asset-driven exercise.
Right. So, okay, so you mentioned that initially was a discovery focus.
Correct.
Does that mean that with the sort of the rebalancing, that's just because you're putting more effort in business development and therefore it dilutes the effort, or are you actually taking the foot off the pedal in the discovery space?
Correct. We've actually shrunk our discovery group by about 80%. And what we're doing is we're making it virtual. So we're in the process now of building alliances with certain academic centers. We've also built some key scientific advisory boards that are going to help us. And then we're building these relationships and partnerships where companies may have platform technologies, and we're looking to work through some of these discoveries together. So for example, we did a deal last year where we had some pain compounds called NAV 1.7s, and we took 1,600 of those assets that were sitting on our shelves and went to a company called Anabios. They've got a great technology called PhaseX technology, which gives you rapid throughput in human tissue through the development process. And that allowed us to work with then a venture group. And what we're doing is bringing the 3 partners together so it's lower risk, lower spend, but at the same time we're getting through the same type of discovery process that we would do internally.
Right, so so that would be the arm around sort of pain. So this is where the franchise, you're already there. That's the kind of sort of the deals that you're looking at. How did you come to choose, for example, the other CNS areas? I mean, so what are the sort of criteria that you've used in determining what's going to be a potential winner for Purdue?
Well, first, we didn't want to go where everybody else is going. It's something that it's quite unique to Purdue. We're a family-owned company, and we've got the luxury of being able to say, let's go where our strengths take us, but not necessarily where big pharma and all of the money is going. So we're very much science-led, and then we're led by where's the unmet need. So for example, in CNS, it's a natural extension for us because it's close to pain. Our scientists are very comfortable, it's very similar development, and the pathways are usually very similar. And so what we did was a landscape view of everything that was happening in CNS and decided schizophrenia, depression, Alzheimer's, a little bit too risky, too much cash in terms of development. Then we started to look at some very specific areas like epilepsy, ADHD, and you start to see there are some segments within that where the science is really unique. And so that's led that discovery effort. But similar to what we did on pain, we're going to build the same types of alliances with academic centers and then build a scientific advisory board across those also.
So you're going quite early stage. I mean, what would the kind of data package have to contain to attract your attention?
Yeah, so the early stage, I will balance that. Our focus at the moment is very late stage. So the business development group is focused on the late stage work. Our R&D group is focused, once we decide where we're going through business development, R&D then quickly follow and then build out the science. So my hope is, for example, at a meeting like this today at Bio Europe, I'd hope to get some late stage deals, phase 3 ready. On the discovery side, we would look at proof of concept, but we'd want to know that there's really good science and our scientists understand the science. When we go early, we really need to have that internal confidence.
Right, so you have to have an internal champion or
correct.
Somebody who wants to do a deal with Purdue. It's helpful if they've identified an internal champion in Purdue who understands the science.
Correct.
Right, so late stage assets, I mean, everybody wants late stage assets. So what is it that Purdue is able to offer people who may have a late stage asset that they wish to partner, as opposed to going to some other companies?
So obviously US based, we've got great experience in the US. We've got a field force of over 600 representatives, which is probably the largest specialty team within the US. That goes across multiple customer points because it's pain, so we're very comfortable dealing with multiple customers. We've rebuilt a state-of-the-art managed care function, so access is very important obviously for any market, so we're able to do that in the US. And also we've got excellent IP. Some of the IP work that we've done, the way that we think about IP is very creative, very innovative, and that's been a cornerstone of our success currently. Then if a company wants to come and it's a smaller company and say, well, how do I get global reach? We've got the ability to tap into Timney Pharma, who is one of our independent associated companies, which all belong to the same family. So we're able to bring a global scale if needed, or really just to focus in the US.
Okay, so I was thinking at one point that you are going to be looking for non-US companies who actually you would give them some exposure to the US market in terms of like sort of royalties or whatever, but actually it isn't something they focus on. So how is actually your sort of geographic focus?
Yes. So if I can use an example, for example, last year we did a deal with Eisai out of Japan. Similar sort of thing. We brought our experience and expertise, even though they've got a presence in the US. It was much closer to, it was in insomnia, so much closer to our current business, and we can leverage each other's skills around the world, and it'll be a joint deal. When I'm at Bio Europe, we are looking for those companies that don't necessarily have the US access and don't have that experience. We can bring that to the table. But geographically, we would look for deals right across the world. It just, there's some unmet science, there's some great science that exists in Europe that is not as well known as some of the science that is being portrayed in the US. I don't know if it's part of the way the markets work over there, but it's obviously much more exposed. Whereas here, you've just got to dig a little bit deeper.
Okay, the third leg, so we've got pain, then we've got related CNS. So what sort of assets do you envisage trying to put into that third bucket?
Yeah, so this has been an unusual exercise for us. It's been asset driven instead of therapeutic area driven. So we're keeping the area that we're we're keeping it quite close to our chest. But what we're looking for is hopefully some sort of platform technology with a near-term asset that we can launch soon, and then to build out once again into the science, and then to start looking for either other companies or other assets to bring into that deal. We'd like to build this to be a leader, as we are within pain, to be a leader in this particular area too.
Right. So that sounds pretty ambitious. How are you financing this process?
Yeah, we've got very strong cash flow. We are just in the process of going out to raise some debt. We're in that thought process now. Not that we need it. Our balance sheet is very strong, but I would like the flexibility to be able to do 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 deals quickly, rather than just have to wait until we keep replenishing the cash flow.
Right. Okay, and then, I mean, so we're looking at, again, you sort of said that this process started 2 years ago when you joined the company. At that point, what was the sort of the timeline for this vision, and when do you think that the job will be done?
Yeah, it's great. My board asks me that question all the time. So it's a 5-year plan currently. We're 2 years in. So this year for me is the year that I would like to get the transformative deal done. People say I'm leading with my chin with that sort of statement, but I really want my organization to be focused on that, and that's what we're trying to do. Then if we can start generating the cash, then you can start to rebuild the pipeline again. So that's the focus. Right.
And transformative, would that be, so is that, I mean, you mentioned you could go out and raise debt. Does that mean a sort of a major acquisition? Because we've seen a lot in this sort of specialty pharma space.
Yes, we're looking at either single assets, divisions of companies, or even companies themselves. So it could be a major acquisition.
Right. Okay, great. Well, Mark, thanks for stopping by and telling us where you're going, and good luck.
Thanks, Mike.